Once in a small town, there lived a boy named Karen. Karen was known for his sharp mind and quick learning skills. His teachers always praised him, and his parents had high hopes for his future. However, Karen had one big problem. He never valued time. Every day he would wake up late, rush through his schoolwork, and spend hours playing games on his phone or chatting with friends. His parents often reminded him, "Karen, time is precious. Use it wisely." But he always shrugged and said, "I have plenty of time. I'll study later." One day, the results of his final exams were announced. To his shock, Karan had failed in 2 subjects. His friends, who once admired him, started avoiding him. His teachers, who once praised him, now looked at him with disappointment. Karan felt lost. That night, he sat in his room, staring at his report card. His father walked in and said, "Karan, come with me." Curious, Karan followed him to the rooftop. The sky was full of stars, and the cool wind brushed against his face. His father pointed to an hourglass in his hand and said, "Do you see this sand falling? This is time. Once it's gone, you can never get it back." Karan listened carefully. His father continued, "Let me tell you a story that will help you understand the value of time. A long time ago, there was a wise king named Suraj. He was powerful, wealthy, and loved by his people. But Suraj had one weakness. He wasted his time on unnecessary things. He would sleep till noon, delay important decisions, and spend hours in entertainment. One day, an old man came to his court. He said, "Your Majesty, I bring you the greatest treasure in the world. But before I give it to you, you must answer one question." The king, curious, asked, "What is your question?" The old man said, "What is the most valuable thing in life?" The king laughed and replied, "Gold, jewels, and land." The old man shook his head and said, "No, Your Majesty. The most valuable thing is time. Without time, all your wealth is meaningless." The king frowned. "How can time be the greatest treasure? I have plenty of time." The old man smiled and said, "Let's make a deal. From today onwards, every time you waste an hour, you will lose a gold coin from your treasury. Let's see how much time you really have." The king agreed, thinking it was just a silly game. But as days passed, he realized how much time he wasted. By the end of the month, his treasury was nearly empty. Panicked, the king ran to the old man and said, "Please stop. I now understand. Time is more precious than gold." The old man nodded and said, "Now that you understand, use your time wisely before it's too late." The king took his advice seriously. He started waking up early, managing his kingdom efficiently, and making wise decisions. Soon his kingdom became more powerful and prosperous than ever before. Karan, listening to this story, felt a deep realization. He looked at his father and asked, "Can I change my habits and use my time wisely?" His father smiled and said, "Of course, Karen. It's never too late to change, but remember, don't wait for tomorrow. Start today." From that day on, Karan made a promise to himself. He created a schedule, limited his distractions, and focused on his studies. It wasn't easy, but slowly he improved. In the next exams, he scored the highest in his class. His teachers were proud, his friends respected him, and most importantly, he was happy with himself. Years later, Karen became a successful entrepreneur. He often told people, "Success doesn't come from luck, it comes from using your time wisely." And so the lesson remained: time, once gone, never comes back. Use it wisely before it's too late.